I'm back. I decided to start recording straight away because I could have spent another 2, 3 hours just flapping around looking at things, and I gotta just try and run my time a little bit more because I already spend so many hours doing posts, doing things, and so this is big. I have to come today. This will go straight onto YouTube. Tomorrow is the last quarter moon of a moon cycle that began with the new moon in Cancer, so under the lunar energy. And coming up on the 3rd of September, we have the next new moon in Leo, so under the solar energy. And the 3rd of September it was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember, yes I will. 'Cause that was the day my daddy died. And yeah, it's coming. So the 3rd of September is 3-9. 3-6-9, the line broke. The moon key got choked. So Tesla gives us the 3-6-9. Third house is Gemini. Sixth house is Virgo. Ninth house is Sagittarius, and 12th house is Pisces, the moon card. And currently we have the head of the lunar node, the north node in Pisces, conjunct to Neptune. And we have the tail of the snake in Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So that's the south node. So the head of the snake is in Pisces, and it's all about losing this fifth element. And the true gateway, we're given the tarot card, the world. It's not, yeah, the world, number 21. 21, the world card, when 12 is the story of O, l'histoire d'eau. The story of O. Pisces is water. It's the whale's tail. It's ruled by Jupiter. It's the 12th door. You need to get through the 12th door, Pisces, to get to where Saturn is right now, Aquarius. But they give you 21 instead of 12, and they put Virgo in the passage, in the ring, in the Lord of the Rings. Seigneur des Anneaux. Oh, water. Oh, the story of water. Oh, the ring. So this is the moon key, and we've got monkey pox, and we've just had in Texas a 90-foot monkey which has just been brought up on the 15th of August. So, I've been talking about Google has changed their second G to a 9, 369, and we've got this new moon coming up in the next, so it's located in, basically it's everything I've been telling you. This is Jack, this is the Ponce Brooks, we had the comet Ponce Brooks, the Ponce is the piped piper of Pan. It is the stem at the back of your neck. It is the connection of the Amygdala, Mary Magdalene, with the yeah, I'm just talking about it every day, all day. The medulla oblongata, so your MO, and the pineal and the pituitary gland, the milk and honey. And I'm also going to be talking to you about, somebody told me to watch a film, and I went and rented this film yesterday, and it is incredibly exactly what this is all about. So this where the Crawdads sing. So I rented this film yesterday where the Crawdads sing. I want to be careful because I don't want to get banned for anything. But basically you've got this axis, Virgo, Pisces. Virgo is Corona, Pisces is Victoria. We're told that it's Victor I tell you about, you know, the Victoria Cross. Paddington PB Bear was found at Victoria Station. PB is the 69, the yin and the yang. It's the ebony and ivory, the white black. So this story is about this girl in the marshes. So she sells seashells on the seashore. You have to get through the marshes to get to the border, and there you see there's the fire trap. Oh, yeah, so I've got to be really careful. So you see there is this hole, the fire trap, this is the top of the fire tower where this man falls down, and you don't know whether she is guilty or not guilty. But she, you know, for nature, in the name of nature, she had to defend herself. Whereas Pisces, 12th door, they, you know, this is loony, it's Looney Tunes, the 12th house, the moon, the loon. She, you know, she would be put, it's the house, the 12th house is the house of prison. That's why they always sing Hotel California. It's the Hotel Cali, fornication, Cali, Cancer, 69. It's the hotel. So the hotel, prison, 12th house is hotels, prisons, hospitals, anywhere where the general public can't go. It's the subconscious realm. So he falls onto this trap, and she takes back the necklace that she gave him, which is the shell of Venus. And I'll be talking to you about Josephine Baker. So we've got Tinker Tailor, the tailor, the baker, the candlestick maker. So Taylor Swift, Josephine Baker, Boaz and Jacqueline Pillars, BJ. She was risen and put as she was known as Ebony Venus, and Venus is about to enter Virgo in a few days. In 3 days time, we're going to go and have a look in a second. So this film, this man, he falls down the tower, down the spine, and at the end of the film you realize that we still don't know if it was really her that killed him, but she took back the necklace that she had given him of the shell. So Venus, the shell of Venus, is Jacques Compostelle. That's what I was showing you in my last. You have Jacques Compostelle in the Ark of the Covenant. Jane of Arc is everything that I was covering in my last video. I was talking about Taylor Swift playing the bird, the canary at the top of the spine, the medulla oblongata, and, you know, this trap into the golden cage. And we've got these three white girls that were stabbed, and at the funeral one of the girls is wearing Vacay Vibes. It's a holiday company, which was the name of what I run in Paris. I called myself Vicky Vibes. That is exactly like Vicky Vibes. V for victory, the passage of the throat, the passage of below. Mars and Venus rule these two passages. Mars rules the head, Venus rules Taurus, the throat, the head, Aries, and Mars rules Scorpio, the sexual organs, and Venus rules Libra, the kidneys, the knees of the kids knees, les reins, which in French, rein is another word for reine, the queen. To get that third eye opening. So this film is on the marshes, Mars, M-A-R-S. So that's iron, that's the Iron Lady, that's not Venus, that's Mars. So, you know, she is taking us through this passage as this Virgo girl does, Venus and Virgo, bringing us back to this girl that has to fight, that has to protect herself, but she loses her fertility in the process. She doesn't have children in this film, but she draws birds, she draws shells, she draws nature, and this is this passage that we're going through. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more to say about that film, but let's just get in and look at what's going on right now. So we're the 25th right now. My goodness. So right now we're the 25th. We've got the moon in Aries. We've got Mars about to come onto this tip of the corn, and I spoke about this in my work. We've covered that on Patreon. I need to open Patreon. Okay, so this is the star at the tip of the horn of Taurus. So it makes me think of the element 22, Venus flytrap 22, 22 element, that when I did on Patreon a chat with Lucy, she said to me that the 22 element was tits, the breast of Venus, catch Venus, the tie, and this star is the Alheka, is the Tyne Quan, Tianguan. You can't see that because I've got this above here, but it's the Tianguan. So Mars is on its way onto, well, it's already conjunct to that tip. Jupiter on the bullseye. We've got Mercury still retrograde, Mercury the ruler of Virgo, and we now have Venus, which has entered Virgo today. We're the 25th. Venus has entered Virgo today, and this is why I'm hearing all on the French radio, they're just talking about Josephine Baker, who was known as Ebony Venus, the Black Madonna. So Venus, that rules Taurus, where Mars is. And I see this film last night on the marshland, Mars. So this is, it's always, this is the corona. This is this axis where we've got the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So we've got this new moon coming up. On the 26th. No, on the 3rd of September. We're talking about the last quarter moon. So moon square to the sun. First things first. So this is tomorrow, the last quarter moon of the new moon that we had at the beginning of last month in Cancer. So it was on the 4th, 1984. We had the new moon in Cancer. So we had Mercury, we had Venus and Mercury in Leo, Sun and Moon in Cancer. And so we've gone through all these phases, which I go into great detail on Patreon. We focus mainly on the moon phases. Everything I bring out is to do with those moon phases. 5, 6, 7, 8. So then, I can't remember everything right now. I've just brought out a newsletter. So the newsletter, this is all the stuff I'm going to be showing you now. So this newsletter I did the other day, and I have posted that onto, and here I'm talking about this, I just basically say to open the newsletter exactly what is going on. I wrote that in my last newsletter. The Black Madonna and her foal, the Black Prince, the Petit Pass is the claw of Cancer. We had Mercury on the claw of Cancer for the assassination attempt of Trump, 13th of July, Hand of Fatima. And then for the Olympic opening, we had Venus on the claw of the Little Prince in Cancer. Now Venus, Mercury sit in Leo. And on the 5th of August, Mercury will go retrograde. So that's what I wrote the month before. And then we had the birth of the Black Prince, and he had a role in Doctor Who. 3 white phases of the moon stabbed, and the black moon takes on the energy of the Mer Moon Lion Leo Sun. Black moon in Leo on 5th of August and on the 29th of July, just after the last quarter moon. On the 28th in Aries, Sun still under the influence of the last black moon, and 80. Okay, so that we've covered. And then we had moon card, Pisces, victorious spirit is the 12th house, last door back to. Anyway, you can go and read all that, because I did that the other day, and it goes in detail, going through all my posts and everything over that last month. And we come back to going through. So that was the first quarter moon, and we had the full moon. So the full moon was it was just before the full moon. It was on the full moon, was it the 19th or the 21st? Full moon, it was the 19th of August. So then we had that full moon, moon in the home of the Lamb, sun in the home of the Lion, and making this square to Mars and Jupiter on the bullseye, and that was all at exactly 22 degrees. So we had Venus at 22, we had Jupiter at 22, and we had Saturn at 22. So Venus in Leo, Jupiter in Taurus, and Saturn in the home of the Lamb, the thalamus. And we had the sun at 2 degrees, the moon at 2 degrees, the most very powerful degrees, the 2nd degree, and we had Uranus at 2 degrees as well. And then we had 22 people missing on the yacht of Mike Lynch, and if that's not catch 22, Venus catch 22. And today Venus has entered into Virgo. So here we are today, 23, 24, 25, Venus enters Virgo, and tomorrow we've got the last quarter moon, and the moon is again light for the stabbing. For the last quarter moon in last month, we've got the moon conjunct Uranus again, right next to Uranus under Algol. So this is something huge, and it's all building up. We've just had the news out. See, Mercury's retrograde, and then on the 1st of September Uranus is going to go retrograde, and in October Jupiter will go retrograde. So they're going to be playing over the bullseye, Jupiter and Uranus under Algol, backwards and forwards, for the rising of Notre Dame, the Black Madonna, the 8th of December. And that's again, December is 12, and we had the 12th of August, the complete conjunction for that first quarter moon. The 12th, we had total combustion of Mars and Jupiter, and that is just the mirror 12 of the 12th, or the 8th of December coming up. Okay, so that was the full moon. And now we're at the last quarter moon. So Mercury will go forward on the 28th. He's still retrograde just before he has that elastic band. He retrogrades for 777, 21 days. Venus is in Virgo. Venus rules where Jupiter, Mars, the moon, and Uranus are. And Uranus is conjunct to the moon for that last quarter. Saturn is opposite Venus for all this, and Venus is also opposite Neptune, who is next to the head, the moon key. We've got the monkeypox virus, the PX, that X marks the spot, and then in Texas, we've got this huge statue, which is just Bes, the fertility god. He's known as, he is known, so I've got all this open because I've been 90-foot Hanuman, 90-foot Hanuman. So it's in a place called Sugar, 90-foot. It was inaugurated in a Prashchita, so PP, the Petit Prince, PP, Peter Pan, the piped piper. The pipe is the back of your stem. It's that stem. You've got the throat. You've got the Jacob's ladder, the steps going up, and you've got the pipes of the hole at the back of your neck. So August the 18th, ceremony on August the 18th. It's after, so this height makes it the third tallest statue in the US according to the World Atlas website, after the Statue of Liberty at 151. So 151 is 10, 10, and the Hawaii 50. There was a club I've often showed you in the pictures of Gainsbourg. The club in London was called the 151 Club. And if you see Gainsbourg with his Rolls Royce, is it there? You see, it is written. Oh, we've got 996. It's this one. There we go. You can see 151. 151 on his Rolls Royce. And at the top of the Rolls Royce, we've got the wings. We've got the winged lady. We've got the Taylor Swift. We've got the ability to, that's what I was explaining in my last video, Tinker Taylor Swift. You've got swallow, to swallow, the swift, and you've got the house martin, the three types of birds, and the free martin is the sterile. So there's your JB, your Josephine Baker, Jane Birkin, and the G, Gainsbourg, hiding. He's just got Mars, and he's got these three fingers here. He's hiding. He's got Saturn, Sun, and Mercury. 151. She's got the clenched on this last corner, on the last wheel. So, okay, what was I saying just before? Okay, so everything playing is this key, this last CairO, as CairO is in these last, it's right on the last degree of Pisces, but it's going retrogrades. So its Chiron is at 28, so 2 degrees away from that last degree, but it's not going fully into Aries until 2026 from my research and looking up on charts. So we got this gap, we've got this moon key, we've got this moon eye, and we've got the camel Harris to pass the camel through the eye of the needle, the camel Harris. And I told you in my last video that she is worshipped in India. So I'll show you these posts I've been doing this morning because it will just remind me of everything I'm talking about. So we'll start with this one here. So, and here is your 369, the line, NILE climbs, broke, the moon key gets your, you need the key, moon key, Pox, T, Texas marks a spot, Ponce Brooks, here is Rumpelstiltskin, the green jungle man, Bacchus, the gnome, Soranus, the stem, the gap, the medulla oblongata at the back of your neck, the appa, appy, the ape, the moon key, piaf passage. So that's the other thing in the newspapers today. So yeah, we've got huge. I'm going to talking to you about Alain Delon. This is the ALIEN, the A lion, Alain, a lion de loin, de lion, a lion de loin. Anyway, I will go over all that. So yeah. So last night we had lightning at the Pic du Gers. So we've had some storm, big storm, 40 people stuck in the carriages were evacuated. So just in front of me in Lourdes, that crossed the Hautes-Pyrénées on Saturday evening, lightning struck the electrical. So Venus is in Virgo, and she will go in February. She will go retrograde in Pisces for 40 days. So she's in detriment, moving into detriment, as Mars is still in detriment in her home in Taurus. So electrical storm, 38 passengers, all these people at Lourdes. And there we got the tunnel and the Helios. So that's not really what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show, so yeah, where I live, Nogaro, a 30-year-old motorcyclist falls and dies after being hit in the head by another competitor. So we've got this horrible track, that this circle that has to be right here where I am, car racing. So that had to happen again this weekend. But what I wanted to show you, what was in the newspapers today, about the passage. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is exactly that, all this man in the news today. So there he is with his black casquettes. This is where the shell splinter hit me. Former Gers resident, fighter of the Corps Franc, Pommies, he recounts his march towards Berlin. So this is from Massey, joined the ranks of the Corps Franc Pommies to pursue the enemy into his lair against the Nazis. When asked, were you scared? I always answer, no, I was scared to death. At 98, his memory is intact. André Moncassin has not forgotten a single thing about a commitment that dates back to the summer of 1944. Barely 18 years old, he made up his mind at the Café La Fontaine in Massurbe with a few childhood friends after the Normandy landings and the nearby massacre in Milan. Learning that there was, so this was the time, the place of all the resistance. These are the black caps, This is on the, so I was listening on the radio about Josephine Baker, and she has a place also in this area, Leland, these people that stand on the stilts like Rumpelstiltskin. So it's known, this article is about, it's called the Vosges Passage. The Vosges, the ditches along the Barts. It's called, because that's what I was looking up, the Passage dans les Vosges. The Passage dans les Vosges, okay. So that was on the front newspaper today, and also Boeing, La Dépêche, and again, yeah. Okay, so it's a whole series called the Black Series about the Boeing. So the bow, the Ark of the Covenant, the bow, this is the Ark. It's all about making that Ark, Noah's Ark. We've got, that's what I was explaining, the Canary, Taylor Swift, the Ark of the Covenant. I'll show you all the pictures. So this is Saturn in Aquarius, the true air. They're bringing up Ryanair, the Little Prince, as the air. Mercury when Saturn in Aquarius. So the new central creator of aeroplanes is going to be Toulouse. Léon Marchand, the swimmer, comes from Toulouse. Toulouse is the home of Saint Martin de Tours. Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Taurus that kill Saint Saturnin in Aquarius, that I show you always. Saint Saturnin killed by Saint Martin de Tours. So it's always the same story. That's why we've got Prince William now feeding the poor. This is him with his cape, and he feeds the poor. So killing there is behind the bull. We've got Mars and Jupiter, Saint Saturnin. He's taken behind the bull and he's killed. So Boeing, the series, it's the same person as St. George. It's the same person as Hubert, Tess d'Urberville. There he is, Saint Martin de Tours. It's the same person as St. George, St. Hubert, St. Patrick. It's the same story, and it's always the philosophers rejected the lamb, the true lamb, and we've got an exact arc at the moment, an exact arc between, so for that full moon, we've got the capstone, and we've got the arc. We've got the Ark of the Covenant, and we have Taylor Swift doing her Aras, Mars, Eras, whatever it's called. So I had no idea who this Taylor Swift was until everyone was talking about the stabbing and the Taylor Swift, and I've been to look, and I'm just amazed at how many young women identify in this woman who's got zero sexuality. She has not transmuted sexually. Her music, she's evil. I've seen little clips that she does, and there's this people who haven't sexually transmuted through the 12th door. They have this unconscious side, materialistic. It's just wanting to talk about, having a boyfriend, having a material life, having this, but not getting raw and real, which is that Pisces Virgo axis. This is materialistic, the vice of avarice, Taurus in the flesh, the dark side of the moon. I just can't even describe how weird it is. It's like she's a huge witchcraft. These concerts that she's doing, I had no idea who she was, but this is what we'll catch up with in the posts that I've been doing. So anyway, let's have a look at these pictures. So we've got this, exactly what I've been showing you, the 5-5 Hawaii 5-0. This is the Rumpelstiltskin. This is the moon key at the back. So you've got the two sides, the two keys. You have MN, Mona Lisa. Taylor Swift is a play on Elizabeth Taylor, the weaver, the tailor. Taylor is a gender neutral name, and it's the tail, the golden tail of the Swift. Swift is Mercury. It's the story I read in my last video. You have to go and read the story of the Happy Prince. Appy, the bull god. Appy is the bull god. So you've got the key is the 10, the moon key. You get to the 10th door, and then you need Saturn, the twin peaks. You need 12. You need the peak. You need Father Air and Mother Earth, Aquarius and Capricorn, Saturn. The sun and the moon is the dome. It's the Ark of the Covenant. You need to get through. So, I want to show you Yeah, I just wanted to show you this. So you've got yin yang, the ego, relative conscious mind, illusion of physical reality, conscious mind, the multiverse, the superconscious mind, information, our source, flowing stream of consciousness, and then the monsters of the id, infinite lack, ambition, goals, desires. Well, that's what I see in this Taylor Swift and the people that follow. There's no, I mean, they have taken somebody totally void of any true creative. If you look at her dress sense, I mean, it's really to confirm that they have created a material world of people who will never transcend through the abyss. They just think that life is having material, making money, and you can just feel it in this Taylor Swift girl. So if I go, so yeah, we're looking at these pictures here. So you've got Pete and Paul, two little dicky birds, Pierre, Paul, Pierre the stone, Paul the pole, and you've got to get past through the abyss to get your Manda Fatima, your 151, 1-5 in the middle, 1 club. And I think that was because I was reading to you about this, yeah, this 151, the Statue of Liberty is 151 feet, and the Pegasus and Dragon statue in Florida is 110 feet. So, you know, this is George Harrison, this is the Beatles, this is Camila the Camel, getting through the eye of the needle. So this guy's called Pierre-Paul Jacques in France, showing you the same. There's King Louis. This is the stump at the back of your neck. It's the elephant. It's the Hierophant. There's MJ, Michael Jackson, always with the monkey. That's Mercury. They've got another big thing on the radio going on today about Mick Jagger. It's just MJJM, Jupiter, Mercury. And here is the stem at the back of your neck, the moon key, showing you the hourglass, showing you the stem, planet of the apes, King Kong. He's got Sirius, the keeper of the four corners, the dog star. And here we've got the monkey that kills the fish, which is what I wanted to show you here on this. If I, can I, yeah, so look, you have the yin and the yang between its Pisces. You've got to get through the abyss to the higher source, the higher consciousness. I was about to close down the video there. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so you see that's the monkey killing the fish. Okay, so I'm just doing it like this because otherwise... So there's the High Priestess in the series that came out in 1968, the Moon Key, this boat that sunk, Michael Lynch. He was 56 years old, so 56 is my age. It's 1968, the year that this Moon Key monkey and the yacht was something like 56 meters long or something, had a double 56 going on. So this is Aten, Apollo, Atlas. He holds the world on his stump, on the neck. He's holding the world up, but it's stuck at the back of the neck. So the Black Prince, that's why they're talking about the black, the série noire, and we've got the black hats, Gascon, the Black Prince, the Black Madonna, Ebony Venus. So there is Pete sells her, sellers, Pete her, Pete Paul, and they're showing you the blind man, the three monkeys. You've got the blind monkey, the monkey covers his ears, he doesn't want to hear, see or know. Peter Sellers in as the tree, as the stump, Romulus and Remus, Under the Dome, the Free Martinism, so the twins, here's BB. So Uno did a really good film about Alain Delon, which you guys are not going to understand, but Alain Delon is enormous. He is the spitting image of my ex-husband, and when I came to France, I didn't understand why everyone spoke about this resemblance, especially when he was young. As he got older, and also my ex-husband, they lost, just like in Dorian Gray, the truth of who they are came out through their face in older life, but when they were younger, they had these dreamy faces. So Alain Delon, like Jean-Paul Belmondo, and he makes all this connection. He shows you in his YouTube. Go and have a look at Uno. So Jean-Paul, JP, Jude, Pete and Paul. Belmondo, Beautiful World, dies in 1921, and 3 years later we have Alain Delon. Both made 88 films and both died at 88. So I'm wondering if Brigitte Bardot, Bébé, who's also 88 and her birthday is coming up, you know, she is La Marianne. They all say she's Libra in France, but she is of course Virgo. If something is not going to happen, so we got Pierre Paul and this girl, the death of Brigitte Bardot will be absolutely the preparation of bringing up, you know, Amélie Poulain, at Montmartre, BB is just 13, BB is 2, and 2 is Venus, the throat passage. So there's Appy, there's Bacchus, there's Soranus, there's Mad Max, there is Bacchus again. This is just the man, the man you got to get past at the back of your neck. So here we've got the Jungle Book. Here we've got Baghdad Cafe with the German, Austrian woman and the African woman, the white, black, the yin yang, that meet at the JM, written on the suitcase, on the blee, the golds. It's where they store the harvest. Here, Virgo. This is this meeting point now where the yin and the yang, the 69. It's where they killed the 3 girls, the 3 triple goddesses, and the dark side of the moon. So you've got your blue man, your Strumpf, at this passage between blue, white and red, the yin and yang, Odyssey 2001, the apes, Appy the bull god, Mars is just now, or Jupiter and Mars have been, as you know, all this time on the bullseye. They've just moved, so on the 8th of the 12th they were right there, and now we've got Mars coming onto this tip of this horn corn, which is this star, the nature of Mars. It gives violence, male Venus, and danger of accidents, sometimes called the driver, mini driver. A bluish star with peculiarities. Spectral class B2P, BP, located on the bull's south horn. We had the Southport stabbings. This star was considered of mischievous influence and also violently malevolent. So this is what we've got. Mars on that star. Evil companions, bad habits, sex troubles, and affiliations of a Mars-Venus type. The native is quite aggressive, restless, and mentally very active. Always seeking new ideas, new outlets. Negatively, this star brings to its natives a tendency towards gravitating towards undesirables, dissipation, misfortune, blah, blah. Right, so back to looking at this. Okay, everything's just got blocked. So there, Willy Wonka, this hello, oof. in the Union Jack in the middle. Allo Allo was a French series in France. It's the L L L O is the passage, water O. And you've got the policemen were blocked at this passage where the three crosses meets and led into the golden age cage. There is Coco CC33. I'm worried about something happening in Bordeaux. It's the 33rd department. It's where they have the last leg. And CC is the last vertebrae. So there is Seranus, your liberty and glory, your BT. He's holding the phone, the crescent moon. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody on there on the telephone holding the last crescent moon, which is tomorrow? This is big. This is enormous what's happening tomorrow. This is the last crescent moon. Here are your monkeys. Speak no evil, hear no evil. Dumbo. And there is Van Gogh with his right ear taken off. And there is Louis, the last son, holding. So that is the two crescent moons, the two ears, and the full moon. The middle is screaming. It's the passage. It's the O. And there we have Prince William by the lamppost of Narnia with the Green Mile. And there is the Lucifer Seagull, the V, the block, the trap between expansion, Jupiter, contraction, Saturn, the umbrella that I show you every time. There is your Barbie doll, your Nazi, the barber. The Nazi is basically just the medulla and the amygdala. If you can't control your emotions, you cannot sexually transmute. A whole country of people that identify with Taylor Swift. I mean, who is this person? And I'm really disappointed because I like to watch my little videos where I follow these girls that ride horses. And, you know, in the beginning, I was really kind of my mouth wide open. I thought, well, no, they're nice girls. You know, these are all, but that they identify so many lovely, you know, this is La La Land, this is Barbie Land. The people are lovely, they make money, they're happy, they talk about shit, they don't want to spiritually transmute, they just want to have sex and have babies and not make that journey through. Hell hath no fury than that of a scorned woman. And this is where we're being led. This is why in the Victorian era there was chastity and celibacy, CC, because that's the Victoria, that's the Corona Victoria, and now we're back to black, we're back to Venus in Virgo, and we have the Whore of Babylon, we have the material girls, but you know, it's just part of the journey. You've got to, that's what this film that I saw, The Marsh, she's capable of not going to prison. She doesn't go to prison. She walks away free, which is showing you that bird. She gets through the 12th door, but she's not a victim. You know, normally the 12th door house, it's through death, through prison, that you leave here. You don't sell your soul. You don't sell your voice. I'm thinking about it, but you know, there's no right or wrong, but there's just being aware that you do have to go through L, the pillars, to go through hell to transmute. So there is the lion, this is the bear, this is X marks the spot at Texas. So the Joker is again just the GO, the Jeux Olympiques. Joe, hey Joe, where you go with that gun in your hand? Which is what I was explaining. And then we have the Trump. It's J-O, G-O, Joe, Joker, Orange. So Cali, AC/DC, we've got Muhammad Ali, we've got the guy who stormed the White House. the monkey, then the astronaut, King Louis, which is exactly how Josephine Baker was wearing her ostrich feathers. And so we're at that X mind the gap, and that is just Jesus on the cross in the gap between Pete, Paul, full expansion, and finding, the two eyes, the 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and the mouth, the 1 passage, and the 3rd eye. So again, the gnome, it's just always this, the brain stem, the cerebellum medulla is your ears, your big ears, your Dumbo that gets put in prison. There's Jacques de Compostelle in the Ark. There's the Ark of the Covenant with the parallel bars, the temples, the bars. And there is your Taylor Swift. There's Jeanne d'Arc, who is now in Paris between 2 parallel bars, because you need the Ark of the Covenants. And Covenant is Brit. That's what I go over in my last. It's the Brit, the British Jack and the Beanstalk. And there's the story of the Happy Prince, the Taylor Swift, the gold. There he is, the Jack in the Box. There's your moon key, the labyrinth, and there is the Apollo, the sun, the moon. And 1968 was the year of the moon. And that's the Rosemary Babies, which is now. So that was a good post that nobody has liked, nobody's seen, done by a French friend, where she took the time and she explained that every single thing is alchemical that they're showing you. She's absolutely right. Okay, so this other post I just did, this one. So Ebony, I think the Ebony Venus, this 3rd of September, Black Moon in Leo, Leon, Lion, LIEN, Alien, Alain de Loin. In France, they always tease him by calling him Alain de Loin, far away, which is Loin is spelled LOIN, which is lion, and Loin is a play. Well, you've got on, in, on, léopard. So léopard is a guépard, is a leopard. So in French you say guépard. A guêpe is a wasp. It's the yellow black, and par is to go. So on the 3rd of the 9th, that is the 3rd of September, that's 369. The 9 is the 6 and the 9. A lion de loin, the panthère. So in France you have the Pantheon and Josephine Baker at the Pantheon, Paris. 30th of November 21, 46 years after her death, so 46 chromosomes, Josephine Baker entered the Pantheon. French-born American, this musical hall star, resistance fighter and anti-racist activist became the 6th woman and the first black woman to be introduced to the Pantheon. So the Pantheon so here they put a big, she gets buried inside the Pantheon. The 5th woman, so the 5th woman, Venus, she's known as Ebony Venus in the Pantheon. 77, the 7-7 personality, and the 5th woman to be honoured, so that's 14, and 1 and 4 is 5, to be honoured at the Pantheon. Do you know the extraordinary life of this French-American artist? So Frida Josephine MacDonald. Old MacDonald had a farm, you know, ever since McDonald's was introduced, was it not in 1977? I think it was 1977. And old MacDonald, we have Macron at the moment, we have Donald Trump, and Noahide laws were signed at the time of Ronald Reagan, RR, Romulus and Remus, below the dome. R is 18, R is 18. So Josephine coming down the arc of the, so Josephine is Joe, G-O, and it's the pine, the alpine, the pine, the pineal gland, and the spine, Josephine, the spine of Joe. So vive la Baker. I was sure that innocent little children could set an absolute example of world brotherhood. So Josephine Bacon is in Baker, I'm saying bacon. Must be a reason for that. So Josephine Black Betty, Catch 22, BB 22, Venus Flytrap 369, the Line NILE, Neil Broke, ALIEN, Alien, Lion, Dion, Leon, Black Prince. Venus enters Virgo the 24th, so that was yesterday. 8th, last quarter, new moon, Leo, and so much more. Mercury goes okay. So we've just seen the last quarter moon is tomorrow. The line broke. The monkey got choked. Sense amusement, icon of the roaring 20s, Josephine Baker influenced fashion, creating many directed products, worked on her image and became the symbol of female emancipation. So it's all about liberty, it's all about that little bird, it's all about the wings of Lucifer rising, it's about the Elizabeth line, the Taylor Swift, the Elizabeth tail, or the golden tail, the golden wings of Lucifer. And we've got Macron deciding his new government, and the woman who will become the prime minister is Lucy Castet. So LC and Castet means no heads. And this guy just got killed at the race course. He lost his head. To lose your heads. Okay, so let's look at these pictures. So the death of the leopards, and this is the film, the top hat he played in the film The Leopard with Claudia Cardinal, CC 33, Burt Lancaster, 369, the goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on the streetcar line, the line broke, the monkey got choked, and they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. So there's the leopard, Josephine Baker, Hawaii 5-0, Josephine Baker, Boaz Jacqueline, the Ark of the Covenant, the two temples, the hourglass, this is Isis, the moon key, method 369, the bell stars. Now they've all got hats on, those women. If you want to get a hat, they've all got the black hat. The goose and the monkey. The goose is where I am, the coin coin. In France, a duck is a canard, and a canard is a lock. It's a lock. It's the lock that you put on your chain, a chain lock. It's called a canard. It's the coin, it's the 7-7, it's the VV, it's the canard. It's funny, as a child, my granny used to have one of those monkeys, and you would holding the gong, like at those films at the beginning of Tarzan, and you had to bang the gong. And I used to love to do that. So there she is in her feathers. There's Alain Delon, spitting image of my ex-husband. The baker, the alchemist, she's the baker. She's got her flower of life breasts, the titanium, the breast of Venus, the mosque, the musk. He's got his one eye. Saint. So everything has been about finding your worth, Taurus, through the gates of the lion, The lion lies down with the lamb. The wolf will live with the lamb, the leopard, the leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a little child will lead them. So you've got in between the pituitary and the pineal gland is the thalamus, the moon and the sun. So we've got this new moon on the 3rd, 396. And we've got this new Google I keep having on when I open up, where this has been made into Google on my phone, is now G9 at some game, some... So there's the sun, there's the moon, and here's your Lion, and the Pink Panther has just found, and there's the Pink Panther. And remember in that film, The Pink Panther, when he goes to see the head lieutenant of the police, and behind him we see the great eclipse, the American eclipse. X marks the spot, Texas. So this is the birds. So the lion sleeps tonight, and he's now awake, and he's guarding the gap at the back. So he was in the WHO. We've now got monkeypox, the WHO, vaccination, the triple goddesses. It's just the 2 phases, the 2 crescent moons and the full moon in the middle, and the dark side of the moon, Mercury the child. This boy was 18 years old again. The WHO, the bullseye, Jupiter and Mars on the bullseye. We had combustion on the 12th of August, and on the 8th of December is the rising of the new Notre Dame. So the hand of Fatima, and there is Lucy at the lamppost with Mr. Tumnus, and that is what we saw at the funeral of Alice, one of the 3 girls. We had the horses with the feathers. At midnight, Cinderella makes the Midnight Express. She makes the Middle line. She can find her spirit again. And there they've got Vacay Vibes, which was the name, Vicky Vibes was the name of what I was doing in Paris with my big hearts. Vesica pieces, you need the 4 corners, the squared corner, and 32. Paths of wisdom, the tree of life. Germain is the number 32, the element 32. And in this book, so we had on the 13th of August, so for that full conjunction, we had the moon opposite in Scorpio on the claw, and we had that full square, the full square, 4 fixed stars, Saturn, Mercury bang on Regulus, and Mercury rules the passage of the girl, the squared circle. And then we had Taylor Swift for the Ark of the Covenant in London, Wembley, on that Union Jack passage. So this is the Tav, the Aleph Tav. And there's your Amygdala, the Magdalene. And Venus was on the feet of Jesus. There's Venus. Venus was for the last new moon. On the 4th, Venus was on the feet of Jesus with Mercury. And now we've got Venus just entered into Virgo, ebony Venus, the Black Madonna. So there's going to be something huge coming up. So we've got the moon conjunct to Uranus tomorrow. For that last, it's a half moon, it's the last quarter moon, and then when do we get the little slither? And then we're going to have, that's going to be big when the moon is slithering. Oh, we get that last waning gibbous, I would say, that 29, that third, when it goes into Cancer, when it gets onto the claw of Cancer, and then it's going to enter, and then Mercury, and then Uranus goes stationary, and we've got the moon completely black conjunct to Mercury that is only just moving forwards. And then on the 3rd, we've got the moon fast to the sun and Mercury moving forward. Mercury, the sun and the moon, salt, sulfur, Mercury in the lion. A child is born, and Venus, the ruler of Taurus, and we're going to have Mars bang on the wand of Merlin. So officially still in Taurus. That day, that is the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. That is huge. Okay, so there's the pine, the Josephine. You see Mars and Jupiter at the bottom of that tree of life. So Tesla, Nicola Bully. Okay, so I opened this up like this, the 369 cornerstone. It's the passage through the 8. We've done those pictures. We just got to here. So here she is, Lucy Castex, and she's showing you exactly the logo of Lucifer Rising. They show you the rainbow, the same colors. And, you know, this is the Salome. That's why they had all the Seine getting dirty and everybody getting sick from the Olympics, swimming in the Seine. It's always just the Seine, the river, the moon, Selene, Dion, Selene, Dion, and the Who. And I've been showing you all those pictures of Doctor Who at Notre Dame, the old Doctor Who with the long scarf that we all knew, and in front of the Mona Lisa. So the 3 phases of the moon and the black moon, that is exactly what we had in that stabbing. There is your Pied Piper, your ponce at the back of your neck, your tonsils, your trigger, your last right angle. There's the canard, the goose, the goosey gander, the 369, the world card, 21 in between. This is the story of Eos is where, next to where I live. We've just had this lightning. We've just had this man killed in Nogaro on his motorbike, and lightning at Lourdes. All those people stuck on the conveyor belts. So there is Biarritz with the Ark, Our Lady, the beekeeper. The bee is the fleur de lis. It's the gnome at the back of your skull. And we had the electricity go off and only Montmartre lit up. Labyrinth, David Bowie, Rumpelstiltskin, Joan of Arc, the ADN, and there's your swift swallow, House Martin, Alain Delon, the samurai. So the last samurai, angel or demon, the mystery of Delon, the tobacco. Show you all the tobacco. The line broke the tobacco. There is your barrel 69. We had the Beryl storm at Barrel in Texas. It was the 3rd of September. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And who do you think they were? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and all of them gone to the fair. So you've got the Tinker Tailor, and there is your 369. So you can go and see my newsletter that I posted, and I go through all the posts, which is a much easier way to catch up with everything. And I also add all the charts, and I add an enormous amount of pictures. There's Tristan. I've been explaining about Tristan, the lion, the Joker. We've now got the sheep disease called blue tongue. So it's, it's the sheep, the thalamus, the third eye, Saturn in Formerholt. So we've got the sheep dying, Puss in Boots. This is just always, there's the Ponce Brooks, the bird in the cage, Piaf, Charlotte Dujardin was whipping her horse doing Piaf. Piaf is the sparrow, Edith Piaf. It's the bird. This is Prometheus and the eagle. So this is the story going on now between Atlas, Taurus, the throat, and Prometheus, Aquarius, and finding that compromise between that last square. The snake, we're in the year of the dragon this year. Next year is the year of the snake, and the snake swallows the Ponce Brooks. You're not conscious, you can't see how it's happening. So there I'm showing you what date. I can't remember what that looks like. That was on the moon. I don't know what that was, the moon. There's Snoopy Dog, Merlin, the Mer, the sea, the lion, the sun and the moon, the three needles. We had a good conversation about the Isle of Wight with Lucy. That picture I posted on YouTube, and YouTube gave me a block. So this is where we're going through this picture, Josephine Baker, through the sun and the moon, this picture that Lars did. So we're in this passage, which you could talk about as your Ponce Brooks passage, the galactic gap, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Gemini, Gemini, the two sides of the key, Amélie Poulain. So yeah, you can just go and look at these pictures, and I think that we've covered enough for today. It's just this, heads up for the last quarter moon tomorrow is exactly what happened the day before the last quarter moon that we had for the stabbing in England last month, was also when the moon and Uranus was conjunct, and that was the day, it was the 29th of July. It was the 29th of July, and that was the day after the new moon. That's right, the last quarter moon. The last quarter moon was on the 28th last month. So the 28th we had the last quarter moon, and then that was the day, that was the last quarter moon, moon square to the sun, and then the stabbing was when the moon and Uranus were conjunct, and that's what we've got happening tomorrow. And that's why I'm saying be careful, because we're coming to the 369, the moon key, and this statue was brought up on the 15th. It was put up, and that's your 555151. It's your devil cards. Yeah. Okay, darlings, I love you very much. I'm very grateful for all those of you who've joined me on Patreon. Please come for readings. I need to be working all the time. And I'm so grateful to those of you that keep me working and who have come to join Patreon. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye for now.